goal of this capture the flag is to get the decrypted Etsy shadow file. So we will be using the CVE 2011-2523 to accomplish this. First, we need to find an open port on our vulnerable machine. So we will nmap. And we need to find a port, which is port 21, with a service that is FTP. So using netcat, we will connect to the open port 21. And once we connect, we will use the backdoor entrance, which is we type in a username, and this can be any string, but the important thing is that we have a colon and an ending parenthesis on the end, and any password. So we can put in any password after the word pass. And this should open a root shell on port 6200. So if we exit, we should be able to connect to port 6200. And so now we successfully connected to our vulnerable machine on port 6200. And if we typed "who am I," we can see we are root. And if we type in IP address show, we can see that our IP is the same as our vulnerable machine's IP. The next step of the CTF is to copy the Etsy shadow file and Etsy password file. And we will save it in a txt called shadow.txt, and we'll do the same thing for the password file. So now we should have two files, and here they are, password.txt and shadow.txt. And next we want to be able to send it to our Kali Linux machine. So we will look up the address of our Kali Linux machine, and we can see it's right here. And we are going to send it using netcat. So first we will, on our shell to Metasploitable, we will type ncat-w and listen for 3 seconds. In the destination, which is 192.168.68.129. And then we will listen on port 1234. And we will send our shadow file.txt. And then we will listen on our Kali Linux machine using netcat. And we will receive our shadow.txt. So first we listen, and then we send. And now it should have transferred, so we can see that we have the shadow.txt file, and we'll do the same thing with the password file. So we'll netcat-w, listen for 3 seconds, the address of our Kali Linux machine, and the name of our file, which is password.txt, and then we'll listen again. So listen, and then send. And now we should have both shadow and password files on our Kali Linux machine. Next, we need to be able to format these two files into input that John will be able to use. So John, if we man John, we can see that it's a tool used to decrypt the shadow file. So we need to format these using unshadow and we'll use the password.txt and shadow.txt, and we will save it in a file called unshadowed input. Now we can cat the unshadowed input, and basically it's a file that contains the username and the hashed password. Our next step is to unzip our Word file that we'll be using to crack the hashes in the shadow file. So first we input our password. Now that it's unzipped, we will use John to crack the hashes on the unshadowed input file. Using our word list that we just unzipped, the process of cracking hashes will take a while, but we can see the output using show. So we can see that we cracked 3 passwords. And that's the end of the solution to this CTF.